Right now at 5, a killer on the loose after shooting a man dead in the road.
Live coverage at 5 with the new details we're learning tonight about the trucker killed at this intersection and the search for the shooter.
Just blocks away, another shooting scene. A store employee shoots and kills a man that police say was trying to rob the place.
What the teen's family tells me he was doing just hours before the gunfire here.
Now, from Omaha's news leader, KETV NewsWatch 7 at 5 starts with breaking news.
An Amber Alert issued for 3 girls taken from Royal, Iowa, which is in the northwest part of the state. 2 8-year-olds and a 4-year-old abducted around 7:30 this morning. Authorities believe their biological mother is the suspect. She is 25-year-old Danica Noel Arzaga. They may be headed to Minnesota in a 2003 maroon Cadillac CTS, Iowa plate 561XEY. Here's another look at the girls. If you know anything, call 911. Well, now to the 2 deadly shootings Monday, just blocks apart on L Street.
But police say 2 very different sets of circumstances unfolded in the moments just before the gunfire. An attempted armed robbery suspect shot and killed by an employee at a store near 41st and L. KETV NewsWatch 7's Chindone will have a live update on that case in a moment.
First, the homicide at 60th and L Street. A semi-driver shot dead in the intersection following a possible case of road rage. KETV NewsWatch 7's Cassie Nelson is live at that scene with new details. Cassie?
That's right. It all happened here on 60th and L Street. Police are still searching for that shooter. They're hoping these newly released photos will help. Take a look. They believe this late 90s or early 2000s Chevy Silverado is connected to the deadly shooting. A witness tells KETV he believes it stems from road rage. He saw the victim, 32-year-old James Womack, get out of his truck and pound on the window of a nearby pickup while yelling. What he said exactly is unclear. The witness says Womack then began to return to his truck when the other driver shot him in the back up to 3 times. Police will not say what led up to the shooting or if the drivers knew each other. Meanwhile, the Womack family is in shock. They say James is an Army veteran and served 3 deployments in Iraq. He was a husband and father of 3. He moved to Omaha 10 years ago from the Bronx in hopes of making a better life for his family. Now, here's another look at that vehicle that police want to find. They're offering a $25,000 reward for tips that lead to an arrest. If you have any information, you're urged to call Crime Stoppers at 444-STOP. Meanwhile, James Womack's family has set up a memorial fund. If you'd like to donate, we'll show you how on our website, KETV.com. Reporting live in Omaha, Cassie Nelson, KETV NewsWatch 7.
All right, Cassie, thank you. And the search is on right now for a would-be robber. His accomplice shot dead during an attempted robbery.
An employee at this tobacco shop tells police he shot at 2 men as they tried to rob the store. KETV NewsWatch 7's Chindone continues our live coverage from 41st and L Streets.
Yeah, that's right. And police have not said whether the employee who pulled the trigger will face any charges. Tonight, the family of the teen killed tells me he was home just 2 hours before the gunfire, and they don't understand why he would ever put himself in this situation.
L Street, eerie and shut down.
That's pretty scary.
As investigators take over Monday night, focused on the corner of 41st and this bizarre tobacco and accessory store. Denise Young lives in the same building.
At about 11 o'clock, I suppose, I heard this loud noise. It almost sounded like somebody was on my porch. I mean, that's how close it was.
Police say an employee at the tobacco shop told them he shot at 2 Hispanic males who were trying to rob the store. One suspect got away. The other, 18-year-old Jose Mario Velasquez, died at the hospital.
When I found out about it, I just felt super sad about it. My heart just dropped.
Close friend Jesus Ibanez says Velasquez was with him 2 days ago and texted him Monday night asking what he was doing. Velasquez's mother didn't want to go on camera but shared these photos, telling us her son was at the house just 2 hours before the gunfire. Loved ones say the former Omaha South and Bryan High student worked in masonry and had everything he needed, so they can't imagine why he would end up in this deadly situation.
It could have been money issues, he could have been threatened to do it, or just the people he was hanging out with could twisted mind so badly that it just came to it, going to do it.
Tuesday, as the second suspect is still on the run, many in the area stay alert.
I was kind of worried that maybe he could still be in the neighborhood. He could have broke into anybody's house.
And tonight, the tobacco shop behind me remains closed. I have not been able to get a hold of the owner of the shop or the building. Meantime, if you know anything about this case or where the second suspect might be, call Crime Stoppers at 402-444-STOP. Live near 41st and L Streets, Shindon, KETV NewsWatch 7.
Chin, thank you. We showed you this crash scene during First News. Tonight, police identify the man killed near Blair High Road and Crown Point as 45-year-old Orlando Bush. Officers say they watched his Suzuki drive over a curb, hit a guardrail, and then roll halfway down a creek bed. This was just before 8 o'clock this morning. An autopsy is scheduled for tomorrow to figure out what might have led up to that crash. Another bad crash, a car hits a pedestrian near 84th and Blondo today just before 3 o'clock. Medics took the victim to the hospital with serious injuries.
The driver who hit and killed a city roads worker last January pleads guilty to misdemeanor motor vehicle homicide. 54-year-old Alan Solarana crossed the center line and hit Salvador Fedoni III. He was filling potholes near 144th and U Streets. A judge will sentence Solarana next year. More from the courts. A man gets at least 5 decades in prison for a 2016 homicide. Even without witnesses or a weapon, a jury convicted 27-year-old Rolando Brown in Carlos Alonso's homicide. Police found his body near 20th and Lake in May of that year. Prosecutors used forensic evidence to link Brown to the crime.
Okay, we're back in the warm weather for a little while. Let's take a live look outside. It's windy and it's humid. Chief Meteorologist Bill Ramby's here with the upfront forecast. Bill, when's it going to start feeling like fall?
Yeah, Melissa, not for a while. Next week looks like fall weather, but until then, more like summer for sure. 90 degrees, skies currently partly cloudy. There's a view of downtown. The radar, it's currently quiet. No precipitation in our local area. Had some clouds this morning, but then as we go through the afternoon here, you'll see it turn more and more sunny and hotter. Temperatures really warmed up. We will stay windy and warm for most of the night here tonight. Pleasant day Wednesday, but then it's breezy and hot again Thursday and Friday. If you got some evening plans, do not need the jacket. Temperatures above 80 for at least a few hours. Back to you.
Bill, thanks. Breaking at 5, at least 61 reported dead after a 7.1 magnitude earthquake rocks central Mexico. Look at this video from Foro TV in that country. One of its tower cameras shaking as the tremor first hit. Right now, rescuers are digging through the rubble to try and find victims. At least 20 buildings in Mexico City, that nation's capital, have collapsed. Look for more details ahead on World News Tonight.
And all indications are that this is going to be devastating and catastrophic.
That is Puerto Rico's governor warning his people about Category 5 Hurricane Maria barreling toward the U.S. territory. Now, for many in the Caribbean, it is the worst kind of deja vu. The storm forecasted to hit the island where more than 3 million people were displaced just last week by Hurricane Irma. That's where they're staying right now. Also in the storm's path, the tiny island of Vieques.
And tonight, some former Nebraskans who decided to trade the good life for the island life are bracing for a direct hit. KETV NewsWatch 7's Michelle Bandur talked with them as they prepare. She has this new story.
The island life is what attracted some Omahans to drop everything in Nebraska and head to paradise for good.
It's gorgeous here. That's what got us here. Crystal clear waters, great people, beautiful people. It's a great place to live, except during hurricane season.
For the first time since the Nebraskans moved here, their tiny island of Vieques is in jeopardy. It sits off Puerto Rico in the Caribbean Sea and now is in the direct path of Hurricane Maria.
If we weren't here riding it out, we would be losing our minds, wondering what was happening.
Nikki and Steve Colt moved here almost 3 years ago and bought the Vieques guest house. They canceled all reservations, boarded it up, and moved everything inside.
The building that we're in, the guest house, survived Hurricane Hugo, which was almost 30 years ago. It's all concrete.
The Omahans are already stocked up with food and water in preparation for Irma, which missed their island. The worst of it, no electricity for 10 days. Now the ferry service has stopped, all flights canceled, waiting for the wrath of Maria.
There is no way off the island. And when you have a home here, and we have several dogs that we've adopted, cats and horses and friends, and our business, we can't leave. So our house is concrete.
Betty Gilreath runs a car rental company. She too is losing thousands of dollars this hurricane season with canceled trips. But these tough Nebraskans aren't worried about business right now. They want their beautiful island, their home, to survive.
We're safe. We're going to be just fine. We love you guys. We'll try to be in touch as much as we can.
Michelle Bandur, KETV NewsWatch 7.
Back in the U.S., police find a man's decomposed body inside a parked car at the Kansas City airport.
Investigators say the man's body went unnoticed inside that vehicle for 8 months. Officers believe 54-year-old Randy Potter took his own life tonight. His family's furious at police and the airport. They say they dropped the ball searching for Potter.
My husband could have been found in the first. I want to be very generous in the first week.
The fact that he sat there for that long, it's disgusting.
Lenexa, Kansas police say it's working with the airport to figure out all the facts in this case.
Still ahead, President Trump takes the stage at the United Nations. His America First message for world leaders and the new threat of force against North Korea. And later, startling statistics show young adults are moving as little as inactive baby boomers. The negative side effects that have doctors worried.
First, though, rush hour traffic in Omaha. This is a live look at the I-80, I-680 interchange.
You're watching Omaha's news leader, KETV NewsWatch 7, with David Earl, Melissa Fry, and your Weather Now forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bill Randby. Live from 7 Burlington Station, this is KETV NewsWatch 7 at 5.